It is estimated that 75% of the current Spanish vocabulary comes from Latin, inherited from the ancient Roman Empire. But it turns out that many Latin words, in turn, come directly from Greek, making it so that in total approximately 20% of Spanish vocabulary comes from Greek, whether directly or through Latin. With this video, you'll learn to identify many words you use every day that come from Hellenic languages. Let's remember that a suffix is a particle or morpheme that is added to the end of a base word or root to form a new word with a different meaning. That being said, let's start our list. Number 1. Arkhia. This suffix is made up of the word archos, which means order or government, and the particle ia, which means quality, gives rise to words like monarchy, from the Greek monos, which means single, that is, ruled by a single ruler. Anarchy, from the Greek an, which means without, translates to without government. Another example is hierarchy, from the Greek root hieros, which means sacred or divine, and which literally translates to sacred or strict order. This suffix is also present in the words patriarch, male leader of a community, and oligarchy, political power exercised by a minority group. We also see this root used as a prefix in archi, which designates the principal, as in architect, principal builder, archdiocese, the principal diocese, or archangel, the principal angel. Number 2, Atra. The suffix atra comes from the Greek iatros, which means doctor. In this way, many words make sense, such as pediatrician, from the Greek root pais or paidos, which means child. So a pediatrician is a doctor for children. Psychiatrist, whose root psyche means soul, would literally translate as doctor of the soul. Geriatrician, on the other hand, comes from geros, which means old age. So a geriatrician is a doctor who takes care of elderly people. Likewise, words such as pediatrics, the science that deals with children's medicine, psychiatry, the science that treats mental illnesses, bariatrics, the doctor who treats obesity, and so on are derived. Number 3. Thank you, number. This suffix comes from the Greek word Kratos, which means government or power, and it is found in many words in our language, like in aristocracy from the root aristos, which means the best or excellence. So aristocracy translates as government of the best, although its meaning has also been extended to the noble class of a nation. Democracy comes from the Greek demos, which means people. So democracy is the government of the people. Other words are formed from this suffix, such as democrat, supporter of democracy, bureaucrat, supporter of bureaucracy, and so on. Number 4, phobia. Phobia comes from the Greek word phobos, which means hatred, repulsion, or fear, plus the suffix ia, which means quality. In Greek mythology, Phobos was the god of fear, son of Ares, the god of war, and Aphrodite, the goddess of love. In psychology, the suffix phobia is used to describe an unhealthy and excessive fear, as in the word arachnophobia, from the Greek arachne, which means spider, being the fear of spiders. Acrophobia comes from the root akros, which means height, being the fear of heights. Or claustrophobia, which comes from the Latin root claustrum, meaning closed, and is translated as fear of closed spaces. In medicine, phobia is used as a synonym for aversion, as in photophobia from the root photos, which means light, that is, aversion or intolerance to light. Other words derived from phobia are aerophobia, fear of flying, cynophobia, fear of dogs, agoraphobia, fear of public spaces, etc. Number 5, Genu. This suffix comes from the Greek gens, which means origin or birth, the same root as words like genesis, generation, or genome, and it's present in words like electrogenic, from the Greek electron, which means amber, but is associated with electricity, since William Gilbert, who coined this term, discovered this property by rubbing amber. Electrogenic means generator of electricity. We can also mention the word hydrogen, from the root hydor, which means water and translates to generator of water. And it makes sense if we remember that the water molecule is made up of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Other words derived from this suffix are allergen, generator of allergy, or cryogen, from the ancient Greek krios, meaning cold, which means generator of very low temperatures. Thank you. Before continuing, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell to remind you when there's a new video. Number 6, graphy comes from the word graphane, which means to write, and the suffix ia, which means quality. From here, many words in Spanish originate, such as calligraphy, from the Greek root kalos, which means beautiful, that is, the art of beautiful writing. Cartography, which comes from the word chart, meaning map, and refers to the art of drawing maps. Or the word orthography, derived from the Greek orthos, which means straight or correct. So orthography is the quality of writing correctly. Other words derived from graphy are topographer, a person dedicated to describing or outlining the surface of a terrain, and autograph, which is something written by the hand of its own author. Number 7, logy. The suffix logy comes from the Greek logia, which means science or study, and it is present in almost all branches of study, like biology, from the root bios, which means life, the science that studies life. Etymology comes from the word etymos, which means true. So etymology is the study of the true origin of words. Or dermatology, which comes from the Greek dermatos, meaning skin, that is, the study of the skin. Other words associated with this suffix are zoology, the study of animals, bacteriologist, a person who studies bacteria, and so on. Number 8, pathy. This suffix comes from the Greek root pathos, which means disease or suffering, plus the suffix ia, which means quality. From here, many words are formed, such as cardiopathy, from the word cardia, which means heart. So cardiopathy is a disease of the heart. Neuropathy, which comes from the Greek neuron, meaning nerve, that is, disease of the nerves. Or the word nephropathy, associated with the word nephros, which means kidney. So it is a disease of the kidney. This word also gives rise to other words like psychopath, from the Greek psyche, which means soul or spirit, and refers to a person with a disordered personality. Number 9, Scopio. The suffix Scopio comes from the Greek root skopein, which means to look or observe. From here, many words are formed, such as microscope, from the word micro, which means small. So it literally translates to a device for observing small things. We also find the word telescope from the root tele, which means far. So telescope is the device for seeing far. Other words from this family are hematoscopy, examination of the blood, helioscope, a device for observing the sun, kaleidoscope, a device that forms symmetrical and beautiful images, among others. Number 10, Osis. This suffix of Greek origin comes from its homonym osis, which can mean formation or disease depending on the context. Examples of words with this suffix are arthrosis, from the Greek artron, which means joint. So arthrosis means degeneration of the joint. Tuberculosis comes from the Latin word tuberculum, which means small bump. So tuberculosis literally translates to formation of tubercles and is justified by the presence of granulomas, mainly in the lungs of those who suffer from it. As a final example, we have the word mitosis, from the Greek root mitos, which means thread, and it refers to the process of forming two new cells with the same genetic information as the original cell. And that's all for today. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to this channel. I also invite you to turn on the notification bell so you get reminded when there's a new video. See you soon.